I told my wife to wear a different swimsuit because I was uncomfortable.
Itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, yellow polka dot bikini.
My wife, 27, and I, 28, have been vacationing through Europe for the past week and will continue on for another week. We're fortunate to spend 2 weeks in Mallorca.
Mallorca! Oh, okay, we're in España.
In Spain.
Mallorca.
We've been doing this same trip for the past couple of years. Since my wife is from Europe, we usually visit family towards the end of the trip. By the way, this comes from Uncurved Approach, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, this year, 2 couples we're good friends with joined us. One couple had planned to come with us in 2022, but had to cancel due to an unexpected pregnancy. This year, they managed to arrange for the grandparents to watch their 2-year-old so they could join us. Another mutual couple, who also have kids, heard about the trip and asked to come along as well. The 6 of us met up in Barcelona and flew into Mallorca together. The trouble actually started before the trip because since we've been to Spain before, I know my wife likes to enjoy the European culture by wearing skimpy bathing suits and often going topless or even fully. While I've grown accustomed to it, I still feel a bit strange knowing she's topless or in public. I understand that it's my own preconceived American prudity, but I try to see it from her perspective and respect that it's her body and her choice. She does have a great body, so I can't complain. However, knowing my friends and their wives, and knowing some background information that one has struggled with body image issues after having kids, I hinted that maybe this time she should pack something with a bit more coverage. She got annoyed and asked what I meant. I explained that I thought it would be awkward if she dressed as she usually does with all our mutual friends around. This didn't go over well. We finally agreed to disagree, and she said she wouldn't go topless near anyone we knew. For the first few days, we rented a sailboat with a captain, so there was lots of sun. My wife didn't go topless, but wore the skimpiest bikini she must have bought before the trip because I had never seen it before. It's basically a thong and a tiny top. While she looks amazing in private, it felt awkward in front of our friends and the captain. She was dressed quite differently from everyone else. I argued with her and asked her to please wear another swimsuit, but she said I was overreacting and acting like her dad, if not being misogynistic. She's right that in terms of what you do on a beach in Spain, it's not that crazy. However, you wouldn't see this in parts of the US we are from. Am I overreacting here? We just finished the sail trip, but have another 5 days on the beach with this argument still ongoing. My friends haven't said anything, but I almost feel them judging. Both other wives have very conservative swimsuits, and I might be going crazy, but I do feel like they are judging her. I don't see why it's such a big deal to wear a more conservative swimsuit just to make sure everyone is comfortable.
Ooh, okay. I get it. You're in paradise and you want to treat it like paradise. And I feel like if you do this every time, and this is like the one
She
time.
normally goes topless every
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
she is covering up
She's
more.
covering up a little bit more.
My thing is, dude sounds a little insecure.
100%. Because it wasn't now. It was also before when she was
Right.
going nude in the
Right.
beach and doing what everyone else is doing.
He's always had these problems. He has a reason to express them now.
Yeah.
And my dude, you sound really insecure.
Yeah.
And your wife sounds confident AF.
Yeah. And
grew up there. This is normal for her.
yeah, and you're also it's a thing where you are also assuming for everybody.
Right.
Yes, it could become with that notion that someone has body issues or body image issues, but
That's their own thing
That's
too.
their
You can't
own
always
thing.
accommodate for everybody else's thing.
yeah,
Like that. You can here's my thing. The girls talked, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure bathing suits has been discussed amongst them, and if there was problems, they would have expressed it.
mm-hmm.
They're friends.
Yeah.
They're chatting.
Yeah, no, this definitely feels like you're using an excuse for your friends. You're like, you need to cover up a wee bit more, and you're like,
She already is covering up a wee
Yeah.
bit more, though.
for the European standards, this is the norm. That's the norm.
Yeah. You said it at the beginning. It is her body. It is her choice what to wear on it.
Yeah.
She negotiated enough to not go nude.
Yeah.
If your friends were uncomfortable, they'd say it. I think you're projecting, but we'll see.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We have some comments, though.
Yeah.
Comment 1. Your friends joined you, not the other way around. She was planning on doing this. You knew it. So next time, don't invite those friends. You are allowed to feel uncomfortable, but you can't force her. Honestly, I would change my clothes if it makes my husband that uncomfortable, but it would be the last time I would travel with those friends, and I would be mad the whole time. Comment 2. Please let her enjoy. I'm a plump woman, and seeing other women enjoying their bodies is so wonderful to me, even if they're tiny and fit. Do you think a few inches more of fabric will really change anything? These are your friends. You trust them not to lose their minds over, right? Lastly, I will let you know that when I started working on my insecurities, personal and ones related to my relationship, that's when my marriage became better than ever. Working on our insecurities has given us a new level of trust, appreciation, and security that I didn't even know was possible. I highly recommend it. And OP says, thanks for the response. That makes sense. Maybe it's my own insecurities at play. And then someone replied, no maybe about it, bud. You're stressing about if your friends are judging your wife and if one of the women is insecure because of her own body weight. That's weird to me, by the way. Instead of worrying if your wife is happy and confident in her own body and enjoying her vacation. These are your issues and no one else's. You should do some self-reflection and let your wife be. Comment 3 says, my 78-year-old mother-in-law is from Spain and has been in the US for like 50-ish years. When she is on the beach where we live, she wears appropriate swimwear to the beaches where we go. She is comfortable on the beach in Spain when she takes her yearly trip. That means sometimes she's wearing a wrap or sometimes she's topless and pretending to be a starfish while taking a nap.
Aw.
It isn't a bad thing we need to be afraid of, but especially when you're in a place where it is allowed and somewhat expected, you are overreacting. Have an update too.
Yeah, I feel like the filter, I mean, that's just like the US filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all around the world, it's not speaking on every single country, but it's very common. Nudity is a thing.
Right.
And like, it's like breathing air. It's natural. It's like everyone's got it. Everyone, who cares? Like, great.
Also, the way he described the bathing suit as like the tiniest thing ever, I feel like it's a fairly normal top and it's just a thong bottom. And he's like, oh my God.
Who knows? But
which are also becoming more popular in the US now, too.
yeah. And I feel like there are actually some beaches in the US that
Yeah.
are actually you're allowed to be topless.
Oh,
don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't think about full, but I think at least topless.
Shame!
Yeah. But
Be
Yeah.
ashamed.
OP, again, we've already said our piece and all the comments pretty much agreed with us.
Be ashamed.
This is more on you than anything else.
Yeah.
You can't assume for people.
She would know if her girlfriends were uncomfortable. Someone would have said something. I'm
Yeah.
sure there would have been some comment like, oh, wow, like,
And
nice bathing suit.
again, the comment, I think that's best. Like, you are allowed to be uncomfortable, but
Yeah, but you can't
Ugh.
change it.
you can't change
Bruh,
it.
it's free not to look. You know how cheap it is to be like, now I can't see anything.
And we have an update. I thought I would post a quick update. The only reason I posted it is because I honestly could not see my wife's point of view on it even after discussing it with her multiple times. I was stuck on why it is so hard to just wear a different swimsuit to avoid any potential issues. I was in the doghouse for a couple of days, but we are off the sailboat and on the beaches now, for the last part of the trip with the friends. After things calmed down, my wife read the post and she thinks I inaccurately depicted the story in some places.
Uh-oh, yeah.
But she also sort of saw where I was coming from a little bit more in some other ways. The correction being her bikini she chose to wear is not really that crazy.
Yep.
Yes, it's a thong and super revealing, but she thinks I made it sound like she was wearing a G-string with 2 shells covering her. That's
Yeah,
exactly how you made it
We're
sound.
straight up seeing her beehole.
Yeah. It's okay. We knew
Behold!
My beehole!
we knew what it really looked like. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It would be something you would see on a European beach, maybe even American, regularly. I think being on a boat and not in a beach setting, just with 6 people, somehow made it feel more intimate and noticeable what she was wearing. Not sure how to explain that. After thinking about it and talking to her, I will admit I was also uncomfortable with my friends seeing my wife's body, which is immature. It's not my property, as many people and she told me. The part that started the main argument, which I left out,
Oh, okay.
was we were all in the cockpit of the boat, the part where it has the wheel to drive, which is kind of below, and there is a sunbathing part directly in front of that. My wife was laying on her stomach, facing away from us. Her thong wasn't positioned totally correctly, and you could see a bit more than I think was meant to be seen.
Her beehole.
My friend just kept looking and losing focus on the conversation. It was kind of embarrassing. He and the other husband were looking before this, but this, for some reason, just got to me.
That's when you like.
Still your own insecurities.
That's when you
though.
literally like. That's when you literally like pat him on the thing. You're like, hey, 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 eyes up here.
Right, make a joke out of it or something.
You're like, oh, you see what I'm seeing?
I don't know why, but him being my longtime friend, and it's not like he's a creepy guy usually at all, but it just made me way more uncomfortable than I thought it would. I, for some reason, didn't want to blame him. I know this is wrong, but when I first went to a nude beach in Europe, my eyes wandered. But for some reason, it being my wife and him being my friend just made me cringe. I told my wife later that she was flashing us, but in a rude way.
Oh my god.
I should have approached it from a different angle because this is the part where things went south. I think I was just projecting the frustration of the entire situation on her, which was unfair. The only part that sort of changed things is the one wife was actually uncomfortable and obviously noticed her husband staring at my wife. She ended up telling my wife privately that it was hard. I don't want to go into specifics, but she didn't directly blame her, but it was kind of obvious she didn't enjoy the situation. My wife felt bad as she had no intention of causing any issues. She truly didn't think it would be a problem. She truly sees completely different than any of us. She will be unclothed in front of her friends and family and not even think about it. That is just coming from a completely different context than any of the other people on the trip. By the way, you can take a trip to listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just go there and search OK Storytime. We got some more. Any other thoughts?
Dude, you can be uncomfortable with it, but this is just gonna be how it's gonna be. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
This is how she grew up. This is normal.
Yeah.
For her.
For her. For a lot of the world.
And it was totally fine with you anytime that you guys have gone in the past.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've had problems with it. Why would she expect there to be a difference?
The only thing is, like, if she was gonna be nude, is like, hey, guys.
But they talked about that,
Yeah,
and she knew that was a boundary, so she said, I will not be nude around them.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered all our tracks here.
In her mind, she wasn't even unclothed. So what is the big deal? She wasn't. There was a bathing suit slip, and you guys stayed in the room.
Yeah.
However, she did say, knowing what she knows now, she wouldn't want to cause issues in someone else's marriage, no matter if she completely disagrees with it on principle. She thought I was definitely overreacting at first and being jealous, and she still does. But she says I probably had an easier time from my perspective seeing that potential issue. On a positive note, we are not divorcing. This didn't ruin the trip.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
If that was where this was heading,
that was
dude, you got some
jump.
issues.
Whoa.
And the other wife and her went to a secluded beach, and she, the other wife on the trip, tried going topless for the first time in her life and loved it.
Yes, exactly. And you're like, guys, I'm taking my pants off. You want to do it with me?
They
it
said
feels
topless,
great.
but yeah.
Well, I mean, no, but like
for the guys.
For the guys, like, all right, if like no one's gonna be bothered by it, we're all friends here.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when like I haven't done it with Dakota, but if we go to the spa, if we go to the spa, you have to get like, all right, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. You're like, ha ha ha, like
Yeah.
What it is. I would certainly be like, ha ha.
Okay. Edit. I asked her to come hang out and move quickly after I noticed she had an issue with her swimsuit. We have some comments. Comment 1. So this entire saga could have been solved by sacking your friend on the shoulder and saying, eyes on your own wife, dude, and going out and whispering in her ear that she has a slight wardrobe malfunction. Instead, you made it into her problem. Exactly what Keon said. Reply, or everyone got unclothed.
Exactly as Keon said.
That's the end of that story.
Wow. I demand my husband stop talking to his work wife, but he just won't.
Maybe he should marry her.
My 26 female husband, 28 male, works as a car salesman. He's been doing that for almost 5 years now. About 2 years ago, a new girl, 22 female, started, and they hit it off and became friends. Oh no.
What kind of friends?
They would text and play iPhone message games frequently throughout work. I became uncomfortable with how much they were texting, how much they were eating lunch together, and planning what to eat, and would buy each other's food, and things like that. By the way, this comes from user RoundLeg7426, And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, it made me mad that he made time to tell her happy birthday while we were on a family vacation with our 4 kids. This may be dramatic, but come on, we are on vacation. Why are you thinking about her? Just tell her when you get back to work. I don't know about that one. Just saying how, like,
was it a text or was it a long phone call?
Okay. Yes.
Was it a phone
I need
call
the
while you're
context.
trying to do things with your 4 kids? Because that can be chaotic.
Or if like that's the priority of your day.
The priorities that wakes. I gotta text her happy
The first
birthday.
thing, it's her birthday.
This
Oh
could
no.
also just be the breaking point on top of a lot.
Yeah, 100%. It's the straw that breaks the camel's
Yeah.
back. It's like, oh, it was Dakota's birthday. It's like, I have to wish him happy birthday.
Yeah.
Anyway, no matter how much I asked him to stop texting her, he didn't listen. He didn't hide anything from me, no deleted messages or inappropriate messages. So I was like, well, he's not cheating, so oh well. I guess they're just friends and I'm being insecure. I have never met this girl. She's a long-term boyfriend as well. So, whatever. Fast forward a little bit and they get into an argument at work. My husband would never tell me what it was about. So we were unclear, like, oh, you get everything, to I'm not gonna tell you why my bestie and I got into an argument.
Argument at work too? Like, what are you fighting about?
What did he do wrong? That's really suspicious, even now a year later. But they didn't talk at all for months. I was happy, honestly. Irritated that all the times I had asked him to stop talking to her, he didn't listen. But content that they weren't texting all the time at work. But recently, the past few months, she has been making an effort to be friends with him again. Talking to other coworkers and asking what he's doing. Or telling them that she needs him for something, probably work-related. I'll never know. He won't tell me. They haven't texted since January of this year. But I have no idea what they say or do in person. I've started many arguments about how his male coworkers will text him to say his girl needs him.
Oh.
Yo!
Oh! No!
Oh!
I'd be
That's
pissed.
if I saw that, like if you like his like her boy needs to talk to him, I'm like, or talk to her, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not happy with this. Even though there's like no physical cheating, this is certainly in the context of emotionally cheating.
Yeah. And the fact that he stopped telling you and the fact that they've gone to talking in person makes me think that it's crossed that boundary and they can get away with it now. Because you're
100%.
not checking the text because there aren't.
And that you're asking for him to stop and he doesn't do a
not.
single thing.
The second that you're uncomfortable, he should at least think hard about that.
Yeah, and he's like, no.
Or let you guys meet.
Yeah, something like that. You're uncomfy with my new bestie? That sucks.
It's my girl best friend. You can't be mad.
How they all know that there's a relationship of some sort between them by calling her his girl. I also read a message on his phone that he had deleted between my husband and a male coworker, where my husband essentially called the girl hot. Specifically said, she's still bad AF. Like, wow, what a blow to my self-esteem. Why would he say that to another coworker? I truly felt like that was an acceptable behavior. It makes me look bad as his wife. He says I shouldn't worry. Everyone knows he's married and how happy he is with me. Yada yada. Sure. He will go out of his way to buy her drinks / food. And I guess she does the same? I only see his side of text. I don't know if y'all will agree with me on this, but my husband buying another girl food just really ticks me off. He'll text his coworkers and have them ask if she wants her normal order.
Does he know you're a normal order?
Ooh. I've basically told him that he can either leave his job as soon as I graduate nursing school and start working, or we are going to separate. I hate to be pushed to that point of an ultimatum, but it's just nonstop with him. I should also add that he has done this at every job he's had. He gets in a close friendship with a girl that he works with, tells me there's nothing to worry about, but then makes me feel uncomfortable with how much they talk. After he leaves the job, they never talk again, which is why I feel like I'm overreacting. Obviously, there has never been anything going on before that I'm aware of, and we've been together 12 years now. So I guess all of this to say, am I overreacting? Should I just let it go and let them be friends? There's an edit to add. She is not another salesperson. She is a manager. She was not a manager when the friendship started, but has moved up recently. This year, I think. From what I understand, when people go online to look at cars, she contacts them and then gets them with a salesperson to start the process of buying a car. My husband likes to say that he needs to keep her happy, so she will keep giving her leads to people buying cars so that he can earn more commission. This may change people's opinions, and I just completely forgot to add that in earlier.
What does keep her happy mean? Can you elaborate on that for me?
He says he has to play nice so that he can keep earning money. He still called her hot, though, to another coworker, so not sure that helps him. And we have a small update, but honey.
Here's my other thing, too. Has things just not escalated with any of the girls that he's done this with because he switched jobs too quickly?
Or
Has he just not had the time to
or
do
he got
it?
caught, but it's weird because he does adamantly say, like, I got a new work
Because
bestie.
I think there's a brag that he likes about it, because at this point, she's not doing anything about it. I don't know.
Ultraviolet, I was going to say, the fact that he's done this with multiple girls at multiple jobs, and he still doesn't get the hint, at this point, you're being disrespected. He doesn't care what you want.
No.
I would be out of it.
Freaking remorse.
12 years. And he's just like, nah.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care to talk about it. He's not taking your feelings into account at all.
The fact that they're referring to his girl or her guy, not okay. You can be friends with opposite genders at work, but if it's like 24/7,
This is not friends,
you guys are playing like phone games. What?
He's taking time out of your vacation to make sure that he talks to her.
Red flags. Small update. I read all the comments. I will make an official update after I talk to him. He's off work tomorrow, and I plan to sit down and have a genuine conversation about boundaries and further expectations. I am not ready to throw in the towel on this relationship if he can answer my questions, such as, what was the argument about? Why do you feel the need to build a connection with a woman at every job? And agree to marriage counseling. Good. It would be beneficial for both of us as we are both making immature choices. If I am the issue and just jealous because he's friends with a girl, then I will own that and work to change. I will ask that he do the same with developing these relationships at jobs and ending the current one. I want to say that he has never referred to her as his work wife. His coworkers did, and then I started to as well. She's always just been a friend when he's talked about her before. I wish I would have worded that differently now. They just became so close so fast that everyone at his work noticed and started referring to her as his work wife and his girl. Thank you all for providing input. I wonder if this information changes any minds? Let me know if that's the case, and I'll let you all know more tomorrow. Let's get right into it. We have an update. Update. Yes. We have been together since we were 14/16. There was never any long breakup. We have never been with another partner since getting together in high school.
What did you say?
I said I found the problem.
We also have 4 kids. Last 2 are twins. Got a 2-for-1 there. And they are 6. So no more babies. Why can't he have female friends? He can. And he does. Let me share a little bit more information about why this friendship is not like the others. First, let's give her a name. Let's call her Amanda. After I expressed that, I think he has feelings for Amanda. A couple months ago, he said, she'd let me F her if I wanted to. You're lucky I don't want to. Okay. He's also said things like, she's obsessed with me, and I try not to talk to her unless I have to. But that is proven wrong when I read his text and his male coworkers saying, find out what Amanda wants for lunch. Amanda will definitely give me her socks if I ask for them.
Huh?
Why are we staying? Why are we staying?
Socks?
Give me her socks. I really don't understand that one. There was no context that I could find. I don't understand that one either, but that's very weird. And his coworkers texting him saying, Amanda is looking for you. Some emoji, probably a winky face. We all know about who you're into. And in response to that, he said, nah, ain't nothing there anymore. I think. I don't know. LOL.
Anymore?
Why is he text like a
16-year-old that never matured because he's only had one relationship and has never matured past it?
Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. I know you're all going to hate this, but I don't want to meet her at all. I don't want to have to go to his work consistently to basically mark my territory.
Do it. Pee everywhere.
You should.
Pee everywhere. Mark it all.
Not that way, but...
That way. I said what I said.
Yeah, okay. She's always right. He should have to set boundaries and keep them. The male coworkers he has aren't good guys to be around. Given the opportunity, they cheat too. My husband has told me stories of an attractive woman coming in and everyone trying to get her number to see who she'd go out with. They're all married too. Car salesmen are slimy. Not sure why I thought my husband was any different. So here is the update. He admitted to having an emotional affair after I explained what it was. It was never physical. I do believe that. We have Life 360. He's always home on time. He's never been shown to go anywhere suspicious in the middle of the day for a long time. So I'm inclined to believe that it was never physical, but it still was emotional. We've decided marriage counseling is going to be our best option to keep our family together. I told him he has to set up an appointment, so I know that he's actually willing to put in the work. And by the way, you can put in the work by listening to full episodes with stories like this one. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OKstorytime. But let's go ahead and finish up the story. I know that we've been together a long time and haven't ever dated other people, but he still chose to marry me. If he doesn't want to be married anymore and wants to have the ability to flirt and date other people, then he should have told me he wanted a divorce. It would have sucked, but it's better than feeling this betrayal. I feel like I'm doing so much for the betterment of me and my family. I start a tech job at the hospital soon, so I'll be saving up as much as possible in case the counseling doesn't work out.
Smart.
Yes. And I'll be a nurse in 6 months. Congrats. Good luck. So me and the kids will be okay regardless. Thanks for taking the time to read again. And that is the end of that story. Yeah.
That
Yeah, I mean,
angers me.
you said it yourself. Seems like you're right on track to really just be on your own if you need to be. If you
Yeah.
need to be, if you're not getting respected and he doesn't follow through. That's if he doesn't follow through. If he does and things get better between you and your husband, great. Happy story, happy family, happy
Maybe
wife,
he needs
happy
to
life.
transfer jobs again, too.
I would suggest that if it's not like the biggest thorn in the side,
Right. If he can do that easy enough.
you can transfer it to another, shop or whatever, or car dealership. Not hard.
Wow. That one really got to me.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law can't mind her own business, but my husband doesn't care.
Okay, you should care a little bit.
And this comes directly from the OK Storytime subreddit.
Nice.
I, 34 female, married my husband, 40 male, 7 years ago. We've been together for 9. Before we had kids, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law were annoying, but nothing too horrible.
That's the price you pay, usually.
Wanted to have game nights every weekend, constantly coming over and calling all the time. I didn't answer her calls, so she stopped, but still called my husband several times a day. By the way, this comes from Should I Leave 19, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, we have had 4 babies in 5 years. My first was in 2020, and since I announced my first pregnancy, she has steadily become increasingly unbearable and overstepped every boundary imaginable. She is jealous of my parents' relationship with my 3 nieces and has made numerous remarks that she wants to have the same relationship with my kids. Only caveat, my sister-in-law was non-existent and my brother worked all the time, so we practically raised my nieces. Not the same situation at all. We have them 1 to 2 times during the week, and until a year ago, we had them every weekend. Now it's every other weekend. Before my first was even born, she blatantly stated she was going to try to be the favorite grandma and would show up at our house crying, asking if I was going to allow her to watch her grandkids or worrying that my kids would like my parents more. She was upset I didn't want her in the delivery room and tried to show up anyways for the first. I don't get why people want to watch that.
It's the beauty of life, but also not your place, you know?
She was turned away, but still snuck in to visit during the vid
What?
when we weren't supposed to have visitors. For my second and third, same thing. Snuck in during visiting hours despite the vid protocols. My fourth birth was the worst. I had started setting boundaries, but this was the first time the vid wasn't an issue. She tried to tell me she was coming to see me right after my surgery. I told her 4 times on 4 separate occasions that she was not allowed until we called her when I was in recovery. She called my husband as I was getting checked in to say she was on her way and would wait in the room. I reminded him she was not welcome and to tell her to go home, but she came anyway. actually made it to my room this time and tried to bust in while I was getting prepped for my C-section.
Can't the doctors just, like, her out?
My nurse immediately stopped her
Thank you.
because I told her it was only to be my husband and my mom in the room. They sent her back down, and my husband started getting bombarded with "poor me" texts while I was in the middle of going back for my 4th C-section in 4.5 years. I almost passed away during it, but she just kept texting. She has diagnosed bipolar disorder and a few other conditions she won't discuss. She walks around with a pharmacy in her purse, but won't talk about what she's been diagnosed with. Every time she has outbursts, she claims they're changing her med dosage. Every time I have a baby, she starts calling 10 to 12 times a day to talk to the kids, video chatting 6 to 8 times a day to see the baby, showing up 1 to 3 times a day unannounced.
Get this lady a dog. Get her something to distract her. Whoa, she has so much time in the day to do all of this. Get
That's
this lady something.
insane.
Get her a toy. Get her a
I
dog.
take as much as I can,
Whoops.
and then finally snap and tell my husband enough is enough. He talks to her, she starts panicking about not being the favorite grandparent, and wants to have the most bonding time with the new baby. After we go back to work at 3 months, it usually settles down because I have my dad watch the kids 2 days. She watches them 2 days, against my wishes, but my husband says it's only fair if my dad gets to. And my husband is off 1 day during the week. However, I started working from home now that I have 4 babies and no longer need childcare. This has sent her into a whole new frenzy of irrational behavior. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law call crying, saying they miss the kids so much. They can't go 5 days without seeing them.
That sucks. Guess what?
Not your kids.
Not your kids.
Since I've put a stop to them coming over, my husband now takes the kids to their house, so they call and ask him multiple times a day, and if he says no, it's "poor me," and she starts threatening to show up. My husband refuses to say no. I no longer allow my kids to spend the night with her because she lies about taking my kids places and has serious physical limitations. She's had back surgery with her spine and neck fused in several places, has limited head mobility and balance issues, falls with the least little misstep, and has limited strength. She can barely hold my 14-pound, 4.5-month-year-old, let alone manage a car seat. She can't put my 2, 4, and 5-year-old in their car seats. My sister-in-law doesn't know how to buckle the seats either and makes us do it when loading the kids. So they're not getting buckled into any car when they go places.
That's crazy. How do you buckle it in? You just
How do you buckle a seat?
you put it through this. It
Like,
shows you.
I know the car seats are difficult to put into the car, but then once they're in it, the buckles usually stay the same.
But also, didn't we learn with the first one? I guess like everyone learns with the first kid, but we're on kid number 4 and we still don't know how to do this. At this point, it's not just like the sanity for myself, but it's also the safety of my children.
Right. She's never been around children other than ours and doesn't pay close enough attention to them. My father-in-law has never even held a baby before my oldest and has had several strokes this past year with cognitive impairment, but they're in denial and let him watch the kids alone. Last month, we were over for Father's Day, and they let my father-in-law take my 2-year-old to the garage to pretend to drive his antique truck even after I said no. He forgot he was watching him and wandered off cleaning the garage, leaving the truck door open. My
Oh.
son fell out of the truck and fell headfirst to the
No.
ground.
Oh.
Thankfully, he landed on a big bag, but still got a bad bruise on his head. I told my husband several times to go check on them, but he didn't want to upset my mother-in-law and said I was being too overprotective, which is always his comeback.
That's too overprotective when your child literally falls head first,
That's a concussion. You have a bruise on your head, it's a concussion.
especially if they're young enough because they're
Soft.
they're soft. What? All right,
Okay.
we gotta set a boundary, but it's not helping when your husband is so
Say no.
compliant
Yeah.
to their wishes.
Even though I've told them multiple times I don't want them driving, they bought car seats anyway. Right after I had my last baby, when I was on strict rest because I almost passed away, My husband told them they could have the older 3 for a night, so they got the seats again and caused us to get in a huge fight. He basically said they were allowed to take them wherever they want, and that was that. I couldn't physically do anything and just sat on the couch fuming while she laughed in my face when she got to our house and made my husband install the seats for her, making passive-aggressive comments like, "Oh, we'll be careful. Don't worry, Your Highness. We won't go to too many places," with a smirk.
Now they're
She is
just
stuck on the couch because she almost passed away, and you are taunting her.
yeah.
And as a husband, you are helping them.
And you want the safety for your children, and you're also just so stressed out.
I don't think that husband wants the safety for his children or
He
his
doesn't.
wife.
He doesn't care. He just wants whatever appeases to his mother, mainly his mother.
Guess what? They haven't stayed the night at their house since. They got so upset when my husband told them no for the first time after I said enough was enough with them showing up unannounced that they called 4 times in one day saying they were coming over. He told them no each time, so they went and bought a whole SUV. They called at 9:30 at night asking to come by while we were getting the kids to sleep, just to show us the car. They can't even afford it. My mother-in-law is a gambling regular user, over $15,000 in debt, who doesn't work, and my sister-in-law co-signed because she has good credit but only works part-time. My father-in-law is a veteran, so they qualified under some program. While here, my mother-in-law starts bragging and rubbing it in my face that now she has all the room she needs for all her grandchildren since she has an SUV. All smug like she won.
You dropped him on his head.
You're like, shut up.
You just bought a car where now he gets to fall farther.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I just laughed and reminded her that there are 4 kids now, and she still only bought a 2-row SUV. When I tell you I've never seen a smile drop so fast, she just said, "Oh, yeah," and walked out the door. They bought it so fast out of spite that they literally didn't even count how many seats they needed or do any research. My current issue is that my son is starting school next week. She wants to come to the first day with us to drop him off. My parents are coming. They have with all my nieces, and it's tradition. They usually say hi, take a picture, but allow my brother to actually walk into class. I personally would prefer them not to come with my son, but it's tradition, and they're the reason we're going to this nice school. They bought us a house in an amazing school district in a new subdivision that's much safer than where we were living, for the sole purpose of my kids going to a better school. We pay them rent each month, but they're the whole reason we have this opportunity, so I owe it to them to allow them to come. Plus, my brother's new fiance has a 5-year-old that's thankfully going to be in my son's class. So they have 2 grandkids to go watch, not just my son. My son is very anxious with separation anxiety and has never been away from us. We signed him up for baseball the last 2 years to help him socially. The first year, he wouldn't even go on the field alone until the last 2 games. That's so cute.
That's cute. Oh man, buddy, I'll be okay.
We're right here at the fence.
Right here, you got this.
He's doing amazing this year and has become much more independent. But it's been a lot of hard work. My mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and father-in-law want to go to the actual classroom with us. They are over the top emotional and always have to be the center of attention. I feel it will be too much for my son to have an audience of 3 additional people all there just for him, especially since they'll make it a big deal. My husband asked when the first day was while on the phone with mother-in-law. I waited for him to get off the phone and tried to calmly explain all the reasons I didn't think it was a good idea for them to come. He instantly blew up and said he needs his mom there for support because he'll be a basket case. He's very emotional too, and he has been dreading this day since before our son was born. He refuses to talk about school and says it was the worst day of his life, feeling like he was being abandoned by his mom.
Okay. This is stemming from another issue then.
Sounds like his mom should be there for him, not your son.
Yeah.
He said he was coming and instantly dropped it, kept changing the subject. The kids were in the car, and I didn't want them to hear us argue, so I dropped it too. I am waiting for the right time to tell him that she is not coming to the first day, that I'm tired of him choosing her side instead of mine, and not backing me up, that I'm his wife, and he should be respecting my wishes and not casting them aside to go with whatever his mother wants. And that he needs to stick up for me for once. By the way, we'll always stick up for you to have you go listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app, search Storytime. But we have more. We have other issues we've been working through, essentially his drinking problems, depression, infidelity, and lying. We broke up last year, but I found out I was pregnant a week later.
Oh.
I told him I would give it until the baby was born, if he proved he was working on himself. We went to couples therapy, he stopped drinking, as far as I know, has stopped the apps he was using, and is working on his depression. We've actually been doing a lot better, but the only area we clash in still is his mom. I'm finally fed up with coming in second to her and having my wishes and concerns ignored. She relies on him for support and turns to him more as a partner than a son. And he's equally codependent. I've dealt with this for 9 years, but the more boundaries I try to draw, the more she pushes. And with her husband sick now, it's worse than ever. I'm afraid of drawing a line in the sand because it might be the final one and cause the end of our relationship. Am I overreacting? Is this worth going low contact or even no contact?
It's totally worth it. But the thing is, that's not going to change your husband's relationship with his mother.
Yeah.
And that relationship with you.
He's not going to go low or no contact.
Exactly. So, it's like, it's not the ultimatum, unfortunately, but
No.
it might have to be an ultimatum.
We breezed through a plethora of other issues there, too.
Yeah, well, that came out of
Real
nowhere.
quickly at the end.
That
Jeez.
curveballed me. I'm like, whoa.
like,
That
bang
should
it
have
up.
been very pertinent earlier.
Yeah.
I know it's rough because you have 4 kids, but this family is just causing you stress and stress and stress. Zero support. They smirk at you when they get their way, and you don't get yours. With all that pre-notion stuff, I mean, it's a rough situation there. Like, you had me with the kids and like going to kindergarten, supporting that, but
I
this is too
would
much.
be worried if they did divorce, what split custody would look like with a family that's that crazy on one side.
Oh yeah, that intense.
And if there would be any precautions that you could have written into that against them on your days.
Case for the divorce.
If that happened.
But it has to get to a point where enough is enough, for your sanity and for your kids' safety.
Yeah, I'm still processing the last 3 sentences
Out of
there.
nowhere. I went, okay,
like,
yeah, we got
oh,
we got this all
okay.
figured out, and then what?
Okay.
So
That's the end.